Awesome. So this is an intro call on rational business. And what does the word irrational mean to you? And I'm Shweta, and I'm a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. And I'm inviting you today to a whole different reality with business and money and creation. So what does business mean to you? What does money mean to you? What does creation mean to you? And what does irrational mean to you? Too many questions? But that's irrational, asking too many questions all at one go. So how many times did you ask questions in your life, non-stop, one after the other, and were told, shut up, don't ask too many questions? It's wrong to ask questions. It's bad to ask questions. So just keep quiet and sit in that corner. Or don't do it. And you stopped. Is now the time to choose different. So what does, and you can ask as many questions as you want, guys. I love questions, and Access actually encourages you to ask questions because that is the beginning of irrational creations, asking questions. And we're going to be using the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement, the right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So anyone here who doesn't know what that is or would like me to explain what that is, also, there's a great explanation of the clearing statement on www.theclearingstatement.com. So you can go there, read about it, ask any questions that you have, and let's start our irrational conversation on business. So what is it that attracted you guys to this call? What is it that you wanted to change with your business? And what contribution can I be today to that different reality? And I will just take a quick minute, switch off my video till the time you frame your questions to find an alternate internet connection, just in case I conk off on this one. Okay, I'm back. All right. So, hi guys. Hi Bhavna. Hi Naresh. Hi Vantika, Puneet, Kanchan, Vindhya, Shilpa, Krish, all of you guys. So glad you're here. So what, come on guys, let's have your questions. What would you like to change with your business today? And how much fun can we have with this call today? I'm also going to be giving you three questions, some three irrational questions that you could use with your business if you like, and see what changes with your business. But first of all, I'd like to introduce you to the concept of rational and irrational. So what do you know about what rational is, and what do you know about what irrational is? Would anyone like to tell me that? And you guys have all switched off your videos, which is not so fun. Yeah, I love to see people when I'm talking. And how much hype it needs. Thanks, Anana. What else is possible, guys? So what does irrational mean to you? Come on, switching on your cameras. Okay. So do you want me to tell you what rational is and what irrational is?
Yes.
Thank you for switching on your cameras. Okay, so the dictionary says that the logic and the reasoning part of it is a whole lot of what rational is in this reality. And how we're taught to operate, like how since we are small kids, we're told this is the, or even if you're not told, we just observe people around us create business, and business is automatically connected to money. It is something that we never even think separate, because the moment you say business, the first thing that comes up is money. Oh, I'm doing this to create money, right? You're in a job or you're in a business, money. What's your salary? How much you're earning? It has never been about, do you enjoy what you're doing? Is this fun for you? What else would you like to create? What else could I do here? And the moment we go into the amount of money you have to earn, the kind of work you're supposed to be doing, there come all the judgments. I can't do this. Oh, there has to be sales. Oh my God, I suck at sales. There has to be marketing. Oh my God, how do you do that? I have to earn this much money. Oh my God, how will I function? Oh, somebody says, fine, I'll create something. Somebody says, oh, let me pay you. I love this. You're going to pay me? How are you going to pay me? Well, let me send the money to you via Neft payment or something. Oh my God, I don't want the tax people to see it. Can you give me cash? Don't send me the money in my bank. I don't want my husband to see it. I don't want my wife to know. And how will I do this? Okay, fine. Let me give you cash. Okay, how much are you giving me cash? How will you send it? How will you do it? Just small little examples of the moment you've created, you yourself are killing it. You see, it's so crazy that here we are demanding business and money, and the moment we've created it, we ourselves go into destroying it. Nobody destroys it for us, and we've gone into judgment of whether you've gone into judgment of yourself, whether you've gone into judgment of the product or the service that you're doing. Okay, somebody makes a wisecrack. Somebody says, "What is this that you're doing? Really, I don't get it, and why would you charge so much money for this?" You've gone into, oh my God, really? I think they're right. I should be charging less. Really? Am I worth it? Do I deserve it? We never go, thank you so much for your judgment. I'm going to choose this anyway. How many times have you done that? So you see how this reality, what do you mean by reality? Do you understand when we say reality? It is all the people, all the things, all the creations, society, friends, family, whatever you've created around you as your reality. And again, you create the separation between this reality and my reality. How I function, how they function. Does that make sense? And all of this is logic, reasoning, understanding, trying to figure it out. All right, so how are you going to put your service out there in the market? How will people know what you're selling? I don't think I can put it up there because it's not worth it. I don't want to put it up on Facebook because people are going to say, what the hell is she doing? What else can I do? Okay, can anyone give me ideas? Avantika, you want to say something?
Yeah, I give a product which is mostly jewelry, and it's a very unorganized market.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about being brought up where everything has to be good and perfect. So there's no logic to good and perfect, or what is a particular standard of the product.
Yeah.
I'm sometimes so scared to put my product out there because somebody's going to think something else about the product.
Yeah.
In terms of point, the quality, because there is no standardized thing. It's not like a Mari biscuit where all the biscuits are the same.
Wow. So how many of you here are making yourself Mari biscuits or Parle G's? instead of making yourself that exclusive product that, okay, so why would somebody come and buy the jewelry, Avantika? Because it's exclusive, because it's different, because it's you. But you won't put it out there because of the same reasons, because it's different, because it's exclusive, because it's you. And you're calling it unorganized or whatever. And for the same reasons, you can put it up there. So there was this amazing story. Can I tell you a story of which I heard as a little kid? And it was like told in a very different way. But the story goes that there were these two salesmen in the same shoe company. Krish, I'll just take on your question after this little episode, yeah? This little story I want to tell, because I want to tell my story first.
Okay.
So there's these two salesmen who were supposed to go and sell shoes, okay, to an island. And the first one goes there and he wires the company. I don't know, they had WhatsApp or text messages, and he calls them up and he says, you know what, where have you sent me? I can't sell shoes here. And they say, why? What happened? And he says, nobody wears shoes here. How can I sell shoes? All right. So, well, that's the end of the conversation. He comes back, fine. Few months later, the company decides to send another salesman to the same island. He goes there and he calls them up. He says, send me 10 truckloads of shoes. They say, why? Nobody wears shoes here. We can sell a whole lot of shoes. So you see, it's amazing how you see what the reality is and how do you want to use it to your advantage. I was told the story with respect to optimism and pessimism, but I'm saying even now, if you look at it as how are you willing to create your reality as irrational, as different? That will create a new possibility not only for you. This thing might have created a possibility not only for the company, but those people who never wear shoes, when they started wearing shoes, probably created a whole new different possibility for them as well. But how many times do we acknowledge that what I'm creating could be a gift to the world too? Me? No. What can I do? Really? The world? Forget it. I can't create a little thing in my own life? Like, seriously, where are you functioning from? Is how irrational and rational works. How question and possibility work. Does that make sense, Avantika?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's hear what Krish has to say.
Ma'am, it just came up to me as in when you were talking about why are you not putting your business out there on the web or where people can see. I realize that most of the times it is because we have been brought up with being in a specific way or behaving in a specific fashion.
Yeah.
Wherein there is a Hindi adage that goes "log kya kahenge" या "log kya sochenge." So we live for them rather than living for ourselves. Is what I come to understand. Because of that very specific thing, we are limiting ourselves to an extent wherein we always judge ourselves before even what, as in we never give others to judge. I'm not sure judging is the right word to use, but you get my context, right? As in this is what probably prevents me from going ahead and doing it.
Yeah. So why is it okay? Why is not a question. So what have you made so valuable other people? What have you made so valuable about other people's opinions and judgments of you?
Mm-hmm.
That does not allow you to create a different possibility, a different reality. See, this is what we've been taught, and this is what the entrainment of reality is, I like to call it. When it's like, how entrainment we were talking about is when you put 3 clocks in a room, after a certain period of time, they start ticking at the same time. And that's what we do. We are these psychic SpongeBobs that will absorb other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions. Their judgment, so many times those judgments are not even of us. It is their judgment of them that we tap into, and we think that they're going to judge us. And that is what we use to diminish us, to limit us, to make us small. And so we won't show up. So I have this page called Showing Up As You on Facebook, which is all about what would it take for you to show up as you. The whole idea is we try to show up as what our parents expect us to be, as what reality expects us to be. When we're kids, we want to please everybody. We want to make them happy. So where is our joy? Where is our happiness? Where is what I want to choose here? Because that is what will make you selfish. And you don't want to be selfish. See? Do you want to be selfish? So how many points of view do you have about being selfish? None of you have a point of view here, right? About being selfish? No. It's okay. I can be. Can you be? Is it wrong? Okay, tell me. Is it wrong to be selfish?
No.
It's not wrong, but we're just not trained that way. Like.
Right. So are you like infinite beings, or are you like these things that people train? How have you...
Absolutely crazy.
See, when we say that we haven't been trained or we are entrained, we make ourselves those things in cages that people train. And I'm going to be trained according to what you want me to be. Because I want you to be happy, because I love you, because you love me, because I want you to care for me. And sometimes there's a because there, but you don't even know why. You say because and you'll forget why. Why? There is no why.
And ma'am, just to add on top, as in I went through the video that you had sent, Simone's, and there she makes a statement: if you wake up and if you have blood running in your veins, you're in business. So that actually puts a whole new spin to this business thing, because it's not only for business. You have been withholding so many good things that you could have shared with others, just because of the fact that you don't want it to reach to someone. As in, why do you care? As in, it got up a lot of things out for me, which I was able to clear off, and that video really was. It is a small one, but it was very powerful. Thank you for that.
I haven't seen it yet. I just saw it and I put it out for you guys. So I'm going to check it out. But she is
the 4-minute one.
Yeah.
The 4-minute one is superb.
Yeah. She says that if you have really, because we have these points of views of like she has this amazing program called Joy of Business, but people say, I'm not in business, I'm in a job, I work, I'm in service. And what do I do? So when I came across Joy of Business for the first time, I wasn't even into a business, because I never realized that what I'm creating right now is a business. So how many times do you create a hobby as a business, but it never really becomes a business because it still remains a hobby? Because there's that back door open that, oh, if it doesn't work out, I can always exit, or I can do something else. So how many of you are you still creating your businesses as just hobbies, keeping your back doors open so you can leave quietly if this doesn't work? And will that actually create your business? So that is also another thing she says. And she says that if you have blood running in your veins, then you're in the business of your life. Anything that you do in your life is business. And these tools are they don't only work with your business and money situation, they work with everything else also in your life. And another thing I'd like to add in here is, how many times do you create these separations in your life? Like, you put your relationships in one box, you put your business in one box, you put your money in one box. But tell me, when you're sometimes upset, does that affect your business? Does that affect your money flows? Does that affect how you're creating?
Yes, all three.
Now, sometimes when enough money is not coming in, then does it upset you? Upset is another whole different thing. But upset is also an invention, by the way, but that's a whole new discussion. For now, I'm just trying to bring to your notice that these things are not separate. So business, you're in the business of life. If you're looking at creating money, if you're looking at creating a business, then it is everything that you've created as your reality that you're asking to change, not only your money situation. It's not independent of the rest of your life. So how many of you have made your business and money independent and separate from your whole life living in reality? When actually it's not separate. It's just, it's a whole, it's your whole embodiment together. So everywhere you've done that, will you destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yes.
Right from online shorts, boys and beyonds. Thank you. So you see. Hello.
Darling.
Hi, Puneet. Puneet, don't call me darling on these calls, please. I know. I know. Look, I just made her blush. See, that's how you manipulate. No, you can call me anything you want. Not a problem at all. I was just making you blush. Okay, go ahead.
Can you please talk about choosing from the kingdom of we? I really do not understand,
What do you want to know? What do you want to know about the kingdom of we? What does it mean to you?
Because earlier it was like, don't be selfish. Now it's like, okay, I choose for me.
Yeah.
Be selfish if I choose to. Yeah. So at the same time, what is choosing from the kingdom of we?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, what is choosing from the kingdom of we?
So when we were talking about selfish just now, the idea that is perpetrated in the sense is impelled on us, it's just something we buy as true, is that you shouldn't be selfish because it's wrong to be selfish.
Okay.
But when we're talking of these are two different things in the sense that, yes, you got to be selfish first, because unless you choose for yourself, you really can't contribute to the world. Mm-hmm. But if you start functioning from only I should have, only I should get, and you're willing to stomp over people, you're willing to do anything, to backbite, to probably trample other people, to harm their reputations, or to talk bad about them, then you function. That is actual selfishness, which is not acceptable, which will not create a. I think there's some background noise that somebody's in. Can you guys please mute yourselves, unless you want to ask a question? I'm going to be muting all the ones who are on unmute. Yeah. So thank you, and please unmute when you want to ask a question. So when you're functioning from that space, that's different. Mm-hmm. So, there are these lies that we buy about selfish, which is not selfish. On the other hand, if you're functioning from the kingdom of me, That is actually selfish, which does not create for anyone, let alone for you. Like, you will never be able to create when you function from only I should get. Okay? Do you get the difference in energy?
Yes, I do.
It's different energy. So when you start asking questions around, okay, what can I generate and create here that would create a greater possibility for everybody? And another thing we do is when we ask for, so there are these either or universes, you're either being selfish or you're going into, let me create for everybody, but I will exclude me from the equation. So either you're doing for everyone else or you've made yourself, which is that lie that you're being selfish if you don't. Okay? Which is different from I will choose for me, and I know what I'm choosing for me will create greater for everyone else too. Does that make sense, or do you want me to give you an example on that? So say supposing I'm creating something which is not working for my family, for example, okay, and they don't get it, but I know it's going to create a greater future for me and for them. Now, I could either go into resistance reaction. I could either tell them, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway and fight. Or I can go into submission of, okay, because you're saying I shouldn't do it, you're right, and I will just keep quiet and sit down and not do it. So in the first case, I'm operating from the kingdom of I. In the second case, when I'm saying, okay, whatever you're saying is right and I won't do it, I'm operating from the kingdom of them, which is making them right and me wrong. Now, if I say, all right, I get what you're saying, but let's make it work in a way that it works for me. Maybe I can adjust the time. Maybe I can do it at a different time, but I would really like to do it anyway. And I will not give it up. So let's work out how we can do it. And maybe there are certain variables there which we can shift and change, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know what? I love you, but I would really like to do it. And if they love me, they wouldn't stop me, right? But here, there is that possibility of including everyone, not giving up on me, and still choosing something that will create greater for everybody. Does that make sense? But how we are trained, like what Avantika was saying, we are trained. You know, she just said it. She didn't realize probably, but that's exactly the point, that we function as if we are trained animals in cages. And we'll do exactly what our tamer tells us to do. And these tamers keep changing from childhood to old age. But we, the tamed people, keep on getting better at being tamed. So everywhere you've been tamed instead of choosing as an infinite being, whatever works for you, and creating from the kingdom of we, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes, please.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, what is irrational here, I'll tell you. Irrational is the point of view that you can't choose something that works for you as well as for everybody. Because the reality tells you, you have to choose competition, fight the case, run against them, backbite, trample, do something. Corporates function on that. You see the ads, they'll show you another product of the same, you'll know which one it is, but they'll block out the view and they'll say, don't buy that, buy this. This is better than that. That's how we've grown up. You know, push that child to come first. If you're not getting these many marks, you're not good enough. Again, when you enter a job or a university, it's again that thing of, if you're not doing this, then you're not good enough. And you have to fight to succeed. You have to run that race. And an interesting thing that was coming up that is recently Access talking about is, I'm just going to introduce it here. We won't go into too much depth. But I wonder if you guys are willing to receive it. It's called, Dane is talking about, and Dane and Gary are talking about post-traumatic stress disorder of this reality. Do you know what PTSD means?
Yes.
So how much, when you're doing all of this, you're really always on the run. That is rational. That is linear. That is cause and effect reality. If you don't do this, this will happen. If you don't do that, this will happen. If you don't do blah, 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 blah. And all the time you're in this, chucky of running and doing something or the other. And if I don't do this, I'm going to fail. If I don't do that, this is going to happen. And it's always a cause and effect. If I don't, then this. If I do, then this. And it's always that thing in your head, in your body, and your body starts to pay the price sooner or later. So this is something that we'll be going into a little more detail in the 10 days that I'm starting on 16th. That is a 10-day irrational creation with business. And we're going to be talking a lot in detail with irrational and how you can use questions to change this rational cause and effect and the PTSD stuff that your body and you take you through, which is not kindness at all. And how can you create a different reality? Function, thank you, Puneet. Functioning from the kingdom of we. That is irrational.
Yes.
You get that? So everywhere you're unwilling to be irrational, where see, you're smiling because you know what they're talking about, what I'm saying here. And what kind of a reality would get created if we started functioning from that space of, yes, I will choose for me. And what if I could perceive that that is going to be a gift to the reality as well, whether they get it or not. I'm not going to give up my reality for anyone. Whether Yeah.
I was always judged for not being competitive.
Yeah.
Because at few places I was choosing from the kingdom of we. It was like, like my friends also used to tell me when I was younger in my school or university that why are you helping the other student or why are you helping them?
Yeah.
But I saw like any value to competition. So they were trying to instill it in me that you're missing the competition, you should not help us.
Yeah. Competition is a lie. You know that now.
Yes, now I do.
And what does it feel like? Okay, so also tell me, what does it feel like to be at the other end, to be that other person who nobody wants to help? When you're on this side of the fence, it's great because you have this teaming up or with other people who are telling you, why are you helping? So I have been on both sides. And I know it doesn't, and we all have, I'm sure. So how does that, how is that? And why would you want to do it to another person? If you know what it feels like, if you know what it is like to be on that side of, and that is the little difference that you could make in a person's life. I've been giving this example of this story of a 13-year-old kid in this Netflix program called 13 Reasons Why. And if you haven't seen it, please see it. Why she chooses to kill herself when she moves into this new school, and how there are these 13 people that she makes tapes about, that this is what happened, this is what, and every person she went to, she thought probably this is one person who could give me one more reason to live. But no. So, I'm sorry, this is going into a direction which is totally different, but what if you could see that is the kind of difference you make, even if you don't come to know that you made a difference in someone's life, but probably you could be one of those 13 reasons that person, let's say killing themselves is probably an extreme step, but what they choose could be, you could be an inspiration to them, or you could be a source of discouragement for them. Which one do you want to be?
Encouragement any day.
Yeah. And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive the difference that this reality never lets you see. Will you destroy and uncreate that? Times of God's.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, online, shorts, boys and beyond. So what the whole idea of doing this is for you to tap into the gift that you are. Access talks about you tapping into what you know, tapping into, okay, I'm going to do this anyway. Whether or not it seems like this is going to create the money for me okay, also how we function with money as, if I do this, then if this is not creating the amount of money that I think it should, we don't do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? We don't ask whether it is going to create a greater possibility for the future. Yes. How many times you ask something you're creating and you judge it with how many people are choosing it, how many people are coming in, whether it's creating the money, whether you're breaking even, whether you're doing quits, and so you will choose to do it or you'll close down your business. Like, how many businesses have you killed that way? So you are murderers. You are mass murderers, guys. I'm sorry. But everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Times of God's will. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, online, shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, now let's do this very quickly. So how many creations have you, since you were born, probably let's not do other lifetimes, only let's just do this lifetime. So how many creations have you been aware of that you could have created or have created or could have created that would have created a different possibility? Let's talk in millions, trillions. How many? How many? Quick.
Millions.
Trillion.
A trillion. Okay. Anyone else? How many possibilities?
Trillion.
Trillions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20. Any? Just for fun.
Infinite.
What is that? Okay.
20.
All right. So you guys got your figures, right? Okay. So now, how many out of these did you brutally kill?
Oh, all and more.
Even before they were born. It's like aborted. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting gross here, right? Is that gross? Okay. So how many possibilities? I'm going to still go on. How many possibilities have you aborted even before they were born? Even before they got created as something that could actualize as a different possibility? So everything that brought up, will you destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion?
Yes.
Right around with that for all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. So you see how when you start functioning from cause and effect reality, you kill your creation even before it gets a chance to show its face, even before it gets a chance to communicate with you, to say, hey, let me come forward, let me actualize. And how kind is that?
Not
at all. So everywhere you've been doing that. And what does it do to your life living in reality? Just tap into the energy of that.
makes it work.
Contracts. It's very contractive.
Like there is problem, crippling. Not there's no word for it. I think it kind of just squeezes the life out of everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy shit we do, right? And who's doing that to ourselves?
We.
I gave you the answer. Talking about that. Yeah, you're doing it yourselves. Everywhere you've been doing that yourself, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Please stand it up.
Yes.
I don't know. Online shorts, boys and beyond. So this is how we function from cause and effect reality, from logic, from reason, rather than asking questions and tapping into, okay, what is this going to create? So the first question today is, what is this going to create? What if everything you did from like today onwards? I had some different 3 questions, by the way. Oh, well, this is what is showing up. So, what is this going to create is something that I would like you to play with. Any choice that you make, even if it's just walking out of the door, what is this going to create? And then you see whether it expands out or whether it contracts. And if it's expanding out, you choose it. And if it doesn't, if it's contracting, then you don't choose it. Do something else. Okay, cool. I'll do something else. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what is this going to create is something that will start to, and it's an open-ended question. So once you start asking that, the universe will start giving you all the information that you're asking for, okay? Now, the trick in any question is, what do you look for when you ask a question?
A favorable response.
Yes, a response, let alone a favorable one. And what is the response? Oh, I didn't get it. The universe didn't speak to me. Oh, what is that? What is she talking about? Okay. So play with it and don't look for a response. And the tricky part of a question is that you've got to ask another question after that. You don't buy into the response. You get an awareness and then you ask another question. Oh, I didn't receive it. Oh my God, I just went into judgment again. Did I receive it? Did I receive it in a way that is different from what I thought I would get a response like? Did I receive it different than what I thought I would get? Okay, universe, show me a way that I can have it easily, that I can receive this way more easily, right? The second tool for today, when you want to ask the universe for help, okay, and it will help. So don't judge yourself. If it doesn't show up the way you think it should, don't judge yourself. Ask the universe for help. So what irrational energy, space, and consciousness can I be that would allow me to ask the universe to help me with total ease? And everything that does not allow that, destroy and uncreate all. Right from good, bad, for all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. And I'm not going to remember these questions because I didn't have these in my head when I started the call. You can put it up, you're great. Yeah. So again, it is so irrational. Like people will tell you, well, there's all this energy talk, and what really are you doing? How is the universe going to help you? And are you buying into other people's, again, thoughts, feelings, emotions, judgments of what can happen, what cannot happen? Like Krishna's been playing with energy pulls for a few days after the bars class. and he can tell you that it works.
Yes, it does.
He's been sharing some amazing insights. He's been doing such amazing stuff. He finished 2 completion courses in like what I think a week. Some
Yeah.
side,
3 days.
Awesome. And it doesn't work. The tools don't work. So what do the tools do? Tools give you the gift of tapping into your power, your own potency, which this reality tells you don't have it all. You suck. They tell you you suck. Now it's up to you whether you want to buy that and sit at home and say, oh my God, I suck. Or say, okay, what else is possible here? Is that really true for me? Do I want to buy that? Well, I want to sulk a little while, but then really, is making life fun for me? No, cool. I think I'll choose something else. I'll believe what I think about myself. And I'm cool. I'm going to go on. And I'll let them judge me. Yeah? So that, and what is the third question for today? What else would you like? What irrational question would you like? Because I'm going to be having other stuff. Can I just tell you what we're going to be doing on the 10 days of Irrational Creation with Business? So we're going to be doing two audio calls, like this one, slightly more tools, I think a lot more tools and a lot more awarenesses. And I'm going to be sending out 2 tool sheets, which you can use at your own discretion, and you want to ask about them on the calls, great. If not, you can do them on your own. You can ask me. And we're going to be having a WhatsApp group on which I'm going to be posting daily audios and tools for you to use on Irrational Creation. I'm going to be there to facilitate whatever's showing up for you. So, and if you sign up before tomorrow, which is the 13th, then you get an energy pull too, or an irrational business magical energy pull too. So that is what we're going to be doing. And if any of that interests you, let me know. We can take it forward from there. And now you can tell me, what else would you like in the remaining 5-10 minutes that we have of this call? Any other questions? Any other questions? Or do you want me to tell you more on cause and effect reality and how we function there? Or you want me to tell you about what?
Yeah, more of cause and effect reality. More of cause and effect
reality. You guys are greedy. We are. Usha's already chosen it. Usha's already there on the 10-day program. So what else is possible? Okay. So the cause and effect, what is the cause and effect reality? It's like what you were talking about. If I do this, then this is going to show up. If I don't do this, then that's going to show up. And what it does is it creates this jail for you where you can be the trained things inside that people can tame. So have you heard the jails clearing from access? Jails, Jails. There is this clearing in access, which is what jails am I using to create the domination of E is equal to MC squared of causal reality as my reality am I choosing? Because when you start to function from the cause and effect reality, which is about the rational of this reality, which is about if I do this, then that, if I don't do this, then that, which is a linear thing, like you're going from A to B, B to C, C to D. And how many of you function like that really? Or you function like Krish, like I will finish these 3 courses in 3 days. And I'll have these many things happening at one time. And I'm going to be doing all of them together. And I'm going to be judging myself for all of them. Or not. I'm going to be having fun with them. You know, it's again, every 10 seconds, make a choice. Am I judging myself for all my creations or not? Am I having fun with them or not? So coming back to the cause and effect and the jails clearing. So what happens is you buy into your mediocrity if you function from, so let's take that example that we were talking about, breaking even or doing quits. So let's say I started this business. Okay, somebody calling out to someone. Can you mute yourself, please? Okay. So let's say I started this business and I decided that, okay, in this 1 year, or in this 6 months, I have to make this much money. And I'm having fun along the way. And there are possibilities opening up. But I haven't hit that target of what I thought I should have, which is probably break even, or which is probably the amount of money that I decided my business should be creating. Okay, just for an example. Now I have a choice of asking a question, okay, do I want to shut down this business? Do I want to create more? What else can I add to it that will make it grow is another question. What else is possible here that I haven't considered yet? Is this creating a different future? Or I have a choice of going into judgment of, I didn't break even. There are these management laws, there are these business laws that say if you don't do this much in this time, then your business sucks, shut it down, do something else. Or you're wasting your money, or you're risking. Now, all of these are just fixed points of views. We haven't really gone into, okay, what do I know here? Maybe just the next month I was going to get a client who was going to pay me something that would have gone beyond my break-even point, but I stopped. Now that is the cause and effect reality. And I've bought into the lie that I failed at that business, that I didn't hit my target, and that I should never do business, or that I will never be able to make that much money. And that is me buying into the lie that I'm mediocre. Now, when I buy into a lie that I'm mediocre, somewhere inside I know I'm not, correct? But maybe I've been labeled as mediocre by the reality standards of business, how much money, whether I'm a good mother or not, whether I'm a good wife or not, whether I'm the right kind of woman or not, whatever. There are all of these different areas where I can judge myself. There are a lot of areas where you can judge yourself, and there's no shortage. Okay? You can have any number you want. But when you do that, somewhere inside you do know that that's a lie, right? The moment you buy a lie about yourself, what are you doing? You're corrupting your very being. Right? So that clearing says what jails. Now, jail stands for judgments, agendas, inventions, and lies. Okay? So what jails are you using to create the domination of E is equal to mc square? E is equal to mc square, which is the formula for energy, I think. Something, right? Where Gary and Dane discover that it's more like we create E as the evil of our lives. So evil equals to mediocrity times corruption squared. So when we buy the lie of us being mediocre, one, we are corrupting our being times squared. And that is the greatest evil. Because you're not being the gift that you truly be. You've bought into the lie that you're average, you're mediocre, you're not being the gift, what we've been talking about since the beginning of the call, that you're not being the gift that could change or create a different possibility in the world. And that is how you've created those jails, those barriers that will just bind you, incarcerate you. That is what the causal reality does. The cause and effect reality creates this in your life. So how many causal realities are you aware of that you've bought in real as true for you, rather than tap into the awareness of what is true for me here? What would I like to choose? What else is possible here? The power of question, choice, possibility, and contribution. Does that make sense? So everything that brought up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Times a godzillion?
Yes.
Right, from good, bad, pot, poc, online shorts, boys and beyond. So this is how the cause and effect reality entrains us, binds us, puts us in jails. And we buy again and again, over and over again, like that Mobius strip, like your lost luggage on a suitcase belt. Have you seen that luggage that they put on the suitcase belt? Don't pick me up, I'm not yours, it's a broken bag. And we become those broken bags. Nobody's going to claim us, nobody's going to own us, and we're just waiting for somebody to come and own us. And we just keep going round and round on that lost luggage belt. How many times do we create these scenarios in our lives rather than asking irrationally? And that is irrational. Irrational is, you know how the dictionary defines as irrational? Irrational is a never recurring and non-ending sequence of numbers. It's infinite. So how irrational are you that you're not willing to acknowledge? Are you irrational, or are you functioning from the... So, okay, are you irrational? Are you an irrational infinite being that's trying to function from a rational reality?
Yes, very much.
And is it working for you? If it's working for you, great. But if it's not, what are you doing to change it? Everything that is, everything that just brought up, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Everywhere you're trying to function from rationale, will you destroy and uncreate all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, online shorts, boys and beyond. It's just that you keep trying to fit in. You keep trying to do things other people's way. You keep trying. And then when it doesn't work, you judge yourself. It wouldn't work because you don't function that way. What would it take for you to get that? You don't function in a small, mediocre way. You function different. And I'm not saying you're superior or inferior. You are just different. Are you not? Again, superior, inferior is the rational way of functioning. Irrational would be, what is different about me that I'm not choosing? Okay, that's your third question for today. What is different about me that I'm not choosing? And add to that, what can I do or be different here? This is an amazing access question, okay? What can I do or be? Do or be? Again, reality is about I have to do this. Yes, you have to do certain things, but you don't always have to keep doing. Don't become a do-do head, okay? What do I have to do or be different here that would allow the situation to change? Or what do I have to choose? What could I do or be different here that would allow way more money than I ever thought possible to show up for me? And that will, okay, so the question will show you an awareness of what you could choose, how you can be different, but you have to choose that. Like in Krish's example, you got an awareness of, oh, I was looking at going to Bangalore or Pune for this course. Right now I have this time and I can do this. You could have chosen to do it or you could have chosen to not do it. And that would have made the whole difference. So you see, you get an awareness, but you have to follow it up with another question, another awareness or an action step that you need to take. If you don't do that, then you say access tools don't work or I suck. Like, where is the point in that? You've gone into judgment again. So please keep checking every time you go into judgment. Stop yourself there, ask a different question, create a new possibility, and be totally irrational. And Google the definitions of rational and irrational, and you'll get to see the difference that you could be only if you chose it. So does that help?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So this was something that I wanted to bring to your notice about irrational and rational. I love the rational and irrational conversations. Every time you ask a question, a new awareness shows up. And what different questions can you ask that would create a different possibility? Right? So I'm going to be putting this up on YouTube and I'll share the link in the groups. You can share it with your friends if you like, if this was a contribution. And if someone can send me the 3 questions that I gave you, I'll be grateful. Else it's fine. You can just use them yourself. And we start on the 16th. So if any of you are signing up, tomorrow is the day if you won the entry poll too. Else we can go on to the 16th, right? So thank you guys for joining in and so grateful. Thank you for playing. We have more stuff for you. And if you guys are not on the Daily Business Veggies group, please join there. That's a free WhatsApp group that we're having this month. Every day there's a different question there. And there's a lot of awesome people there who are sharing a lot of interesting stuff on business creation. Everybody is a contribution. So see if you want to play. All right. Bye-bye.
Shweta.
Bye-bye.
Bye.